Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have a little update on Season 2 of Moon Knight. Well, as many of you know, with everything Marvel, there's no guarantees, but many of us fans are really looking forward to a second season of Moon Knight. Now, recently, director Mohammed Diab and producer Grant Curtis offered some thoughts on where they would like to take the story next, and made it pretty clear what they do know, and more importantly, what they don't know. Now, if you remember correctly, from the very beginning, Marvel Studios totally described Moon Knight as a quote-unquote limited series. But then there was a lot of shenanigans we talked about with the tweets ending the season where they changed it from series finale to season finale. I've actually linked that video down below. Then, spoiler alert, they closed the season out with introducing Jake Lockley, leading many of us to think there was a lot more story to tell. Now, both Diab and Curtis talked a little bit to comicbook.com, and they were kind enough to share some thoughts on what Season 2 might look like, and I have to say, it's pretty interesting. And I don't think it's possible they could have made it any more clear that the ball is in Marvel Studios' court. Mr. Diab said, "First of all, I'm kept in the dark, just like you. We know nothing. I feel like he's here to stay. People love Moon Knight. People love Layla. So they could stay, they could return in Season 2, they could be in a film, they could be in a partnership with another superhero. I don't know anything, but I wish I could expand that world. I myself can't wait to see the world through Jake Lockley's eyes. What's happening in his head? I see him as a taxi driver kind of character who's effed up, manic, and a very interesting character. I want to see Mark and Steven, who are going to live in a completely different dynamic in one body. With that struggle, and who's the villain, there are so many doors and so many things to play with, so I can't wait to do that, if I'm allowed to come back." Now, I suppose this is as good a time as any to remind everybody to hit the like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, the big giveaway. We got this Oculus Quest 2 to give away at 50,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on the giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Now, Grant Curtis offered a little bit of a more diplomatic answer. He said, "It's basically a question about the future, which is always a great conversation to be had with Mr. Feige. But what I will tell you is, what I do think the show successfully does, and Oscar and Ethan and May successfully do, along with Mohammed, along with Benson and Moorhead, is create a world and a characters that people want to continue on a journey with. Where that is, I don't know. That is truly a question for Kevin. But where Mark and Steven land after this, it's a great question. But Oscar created such a compelling character, along with Jeremy Slater, our head writer, but I do think people are extremely curious as to what journey is ahead." I think that's a bit of an understatement. Fans absolutely want to know what's next for Moon Knight, and clearly this ball is in Kevin Feige's court. Now, we joke all the time that Kevin Feige is the king of all things Marvel, and he is almost like a Cylon. He always has a plan. I have no doubts Marvel Studios has some intention for Moon Knight moving forward. I actually think the major holdup here is Oscar Isaac. He made it pretty clear he was in for one season, and he wanted to see the fan reaction. The series has done well with fans and critics, and I think that's exactly what Isaacs was looking for. There was quite the debacle with X-Men and him playing Apocalypse, and the backlash was pretty severe. I'm sure when he dipped his toe back into the superhero pool, he didn't want to do that again, and if there was any chance that was going to be the reception, he was going to step away. Now, we don't have anything official on a Season 2 of Moon Knight, but I'm going to be utterly shocked if we don't see him again fairly soon. I actually think the next details about a second season will probably come around the time Blade hits theaters. Marvel clearly has some plans for these supernatural characters, and Blade and Moon Knight, along with Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone, who are coming in the Halloween special, we're going to have a huge supernatural presence, and Moon Knight, along with Layla's Scarlet Scarab, absolutely will return to the MCU if I'm making any predictions. But I gotta know what you guys think. How long do you believe before we finally get a second season of Moon Knight? Or do you think he'll appear in another production, like a film or somebody else's series, before he gets his own second season? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not going to get any updates. Peace.